it is important for us to plan. We know very well that there are two forces, like I told you last time, of change and time that are getting in our way if they are not managed. We are planning because we do not want to be victims of change and time. We want our lives to be transformed, and so we are taking charge early enough so that we are not caught off guard. So we are going to do some serious visioning this morning in the next 10 minutes. I want you to be attentive and to get your pen and pencil or paper and not just gaze and listen in darkness. Sit up. If you want to start your year while you're in the darkness peeping on your phone, that is your choice. Get your pen and paper. We are doing some serious visioning. What is vision? Vision is the ability to think about a plan, to think about or even to plan for the future with wisdom and imagination. I will repeat that definition. Vision is the ability to think about or to plan the future with imagination and wisdom. So we are starting 2025 with the end in mind in order to be effective in our living. We are starting with the end in mind. Vision is your end in mind. Proverbs 29:18 says, without a vision, my people perish. Without a vision, you cast restraint, you burn out, you do not know what to do. So you need a vision. And I want to carry you through a number of aspects in your life throughout this week, in order that you do not cast your restraint as we get into 2025. And I'm going to divide these aspects in 5. The first one is going to be faith. The next one is going to be family. We will look at finances, at fitness, and also friends. You are a Kampala, don't get confused. We did part of this yesterday and we broke it further. Don't think that this is a different message. I just decided to group those aspects that we looked at so that they can fit in what we are sharing today. Faith, family, finances, fitness, and friends. And today we are going to deal with friends. This morning we are starting with friends. Why is it important? It's important to first find where we are. Where are you now before you move to the next point? And in planning, we call that your baseline, your starting point. Where are you now? That is what we want to discover before we move to where you intend to be. Okay? And I hope I can be heard, and I hope all of us are following. I'm a bit fast, but I hope you will bear with me. Where are you now? Now, I want also to first share with you about quick 6 points why it is important to discover where we are now before we plan the next part. Okay, so why do we actually review where we are now? 6 points, quick ones. I hope you have your pen and pencil and paper. The first reason why we plan is so that we can uncover some patterns. We can identify areas of improvement so that we can accelerate our growth. You want to discover some patterns and some areas of improvement. That is the first reason why we actually need to discover where we are now. Number 2, it is because we want to be happier. When you're discovering where you are, it brings some kind of gratitude, and gratitude makes us happier. You did do nothing after all. You did something. So it is going to open us to see what we have done now. And the third reason why we actually discover where we are now is so that we can boost our sense of urgency. Some things we just look at them and they just pass by. We do not know why we should actually focus on some things. And there are many choices that influence where we are now. But now you want to look at the choices you have made in 2024 so that you're able to project your 2025 properly and adequately plan. Okay? So that is the third reason why we discover where we are now. And then the fourth reason is so that we can remove this end of history illusion. That's what they call it, where you're saying, me, I've always been like this, nothing changes. No, we want to challenge that thought. And that is why we want to review where we are now. We want to give you a new perspective. The fifth reason why we want to review is so that we have the opportunity to look at our habits. We have to be honest with ourselves, to look at our routines and systems. You want to discover what works and what doesn't work. What worked in 2024 that I want to carry on to 2025? What didn't work? You want to look at that. And the last reason why we are planning is that we can pause and look at, I want you to look at your map, to look at where you are now. I was making Kampala laugh that you could be following that lady that usually does Google Maps and says you have arrived at your destination and you find yourself in a swamp. Okay? You don't want to be like that. So you want to do a proper map, to pause and look at where you are now so that you can make proper decisions. And so this morning, with those 6 reasons, I want us to look at this aspect of our lives, and that encompasses friends. What falls under friends? We want to look at friends in general. We want to look at our community. We want to look at our neighbors. We want to look at our social groups, the many groups that we have joined. We also want to look at our workplace relations. So, on a scale of 0 to 10, I want you to give yourself a mark by asking yourself these questions combined. Do I have a deep and a fulfilling connection with other people? The other people that we have talked about. Am I nurturing my most important relationships? How is my environment? How do I connect with my community? Have I participated in my community, in the events in the community? How have I related with my colleagues at work? And give yourself a mark. From 0 to 10, 10 being where you have done so well. Keep that mark. You will need to revise it in the middle of the year. That is your mark. You have marked yourself. I don't know how you have performed, but when I look at my mark, I realize that I have not done so well when it comes to this area. And after marking yourself, and you have revised this and you have looked around, sometimes it will even take you to list down your friends. You have to list them down and say, how have I related? Have I been a good friend? Have I contributed to their lives in a certain way? Or I have been closed in and I'm only thinking about myself. What have I done in my community? After you have given yourself a mark, I want you to think about these things. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write your vision. I want you to go back and write your vision down. I'm just going to give you a small glimpse or a snapshot, a small picture of what a goal looks like when you're setting goals for this particular aspect in your life. So when it comes to friends and you want to set a goal, And I'm going to give you an example, like a goal to strengthen your friendship. You are going to put a SMART goal. A SMART goal, we talked about SMART some time back. It has got to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. You've got to put all those things there and set your goal. And Habakkuk 2:2 says, write it down. Don't just talk about it, write it down. If you want to strengthen your friendships, this is like one goal that you can set. You can write others. Have at least one phone call or in-person meeting a week. Put reminders. I've given you just one goal on friendship. You can decide on the others. Okay. If it has to do with community, you want to include at least one goal or any other goal. At least volunteer in at least 2 community events in 3 months. You could put 6 months or 2 months, write it down. Let it not just remain in your head. Things that remain in your head cannot be done. There's a reason why the Bible says you write it down. After you've reviewed yourself, it is important that you write it down. Put timelines. Put exactly what you're going to do. Don't just say you're going to be involved in the community. You will never get involved. And you don't even find out what is going on in your community. A year comes and goes and you want to reach out and evangelize, but you didn't even participate. Write the goal down. Put the vision down. I told you what a vision is. Write it down. We are going to neighbors. You want to improve your relationship with neighbors. At least organize an event with your neighbors at least once a month. Do something in your neighborhood. Where we were, we had Muslims who used to give us food when it was like Ramadan. Now those ones are participating and playing a part. For you, what are you doing? Put it on your calendar. Make a list and say, I am going to reach out to this neighbor at least once a month. Say hi. Give something. Greet them. Encourage them. But write it down. Put a SMART goal. If it's your workplace and you want to improve your communication with your workers, say that, for example, I want to meet with at least 2 colleagues every week for a 15-minute catch-up. A 15-minute catch-up. You want to improve your teamwork at work. You want to improve your communication. Put a goal. Put a goal. As I come to winding up this section that we are looking at of setting goals after you have reviewed yourself, when it comes to social groups, you have many WhatsApp groups that you have joined. And in case you want to become more actively engaged, and you're not somebody who sits in Kamoli and does your things and you're not participating, first write down your goal. And say, I will at least attend 80% of my group meetings. Not all. Choose the ones that are priority each month. Here we have circles. You have AAB. You could have another group. You could have a circle. Something that is going to benefit you. Say that you're going to attend at least 80% of those group meetings and write it down. Don't think about it. Write it down, because that is going to help you achieve your goal. And now that is how we are going to start our 2025 with strength and power. May the Lord bless you.